Hello and welcome to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Week 4 of the Elite League season, 53 goals to get through tonight. It's going to be busy. Here's what's coming up. There's a cracker of a Challenge Cup game between the Coventry Blaze and the Hull Stingrays at the Skydome Arena. Big John was ready, the Sheffield Steelers were ready for the Nottingham Panthers, and we'll have all the action from all the other games around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League this weekend. Well, welcome back, folks, to another exciting show with lots of hits, actions, a few controversial moments, and, of course, all of those 53 goals. Looking through all the highlights with me is the Nottingham Panthers assistant coach, Rick Strachan. And, Strax, before we get onto those games, a month has gone. It's been a few weeks since you were with us. What have your early impressions been of the first month of this new style Elite League?
It's going to be very exciting. Some great players, quality imports. I think every team has done a great job of upgrading their players. We see some very talented players. We see some tough players. We see some grinders. Every team has improved.
I saw a stat the other day that out of 38, the first 38 Elite League games, 23 were one-goal games. This myth that was floating around in the summer that the conference system was going to be uncompetitive has been flipped around. It's the most competitive Elite League I've known.
It is. It has been so far. Last year, in the first month, you could go to every game and pick who would win. And this year, there's no way you can pick who's going to win. Every game has been close. There's tons of overtime, shootouts. Both conferences are pretty even right now. And
with those good teams and those upgraded teams have come some stars of the league, some new players coming in and making an impact.
Yeah, every team has done a great job of bringing in a marquee player, and Faulkner and Cardiff, Pitna and Fife, the goalie. These are just a couple of the great hockey players to watch.
Okay, let's have a watch of some of those great hockey players. Game 1, 11-goal thriller at the Skydome Arena. It was a Challenge Cup affair between Sylvain Cloutier's Hull Stingrays and Paul Thompson's Coventry Blaze. First time of the night, it's Chris Ellis.
So Coventry at home to the Stingrays, and a home debut for former Clan player Mike Bayrak, and a chance to impress the Skydome faithful. The first goal of the night going to Jurdy's. A nice move in front of the netminder, 7:33 gone. It's 1-0 Coventry. Now watch this. I had to look a couple of times to check I wasn't watching the same goal. But it's not, but the same move, a carbon copy. This time, Hull are less than happy. But Jurdy celebrates once more. Agner and Shoot with the assists. It's 2-0 to the home side, and they're totally in control. A period where they outshot the Stingrays 14-8. But in the second period, Osman gets one back from right side on the power play at 8:14. So that's 2-1 and a one-goal game. And then Bounds sets Dooley free, Dooley to Tendler. It's 2-2, in off Hirsch. You'll want that one back, I think. 9:38 gone, second period, short-handed. We have a 2-2 hockey game, and what a turnaround. It got even better for the Stingrays. Osman scores. It's 3-2. The comeback was not only complete, they were ahead. That's at 31-31. But there was then 2 in 19 seconds to make 4 in 3.5 minutes. What a move as Silverthorne beats Griffin. It's 4-2. And the visitors are in control. There was even time for a power play goal from Oslind at 36-14. It's 5-2. Now Coventry have come back from some deficits this season. Surely this one was going to be a mountain too high. But just seconds after the Hull Stingrays scored, Jurdy scored his hat-trick goal. A straight hat-trick, 3 goals. That's 5-3. So we go to period 3. And at 42-41, Brad Lieb scored, assisted by his brother and by Guthrie. So that's 5-4. It could be on, This is still early in the third period, again on the power play. And Bayrak impresses the home fans with the assist. And Mike shoots and scores. We're tied at 5-5. They have come back. And that's a special moment for the Skydome. A hooking penalty there for Curtis Dooley. This coming at 50-58. You can see how angry he is here with referee Andy Carson. Punches the plexi, then gives abuse to Carson. And Andy Carson takes none of that. The 10-minute misconduct went his way as well. Overtime was scoreless. We're going to the shootout. Oslin's first of all. That's a good move. Great move on the netminder. 1-0 in the shootout. Shea Guthrie is denied at the other end. So Jason Silverthorne can give the visitors some breathing space in the shootout. No, he's denied. Back to the other end, Brad Lieb. Brad Lieb saved by the pads of Bounds. Good save. Dominic Osman can win it. Oh, he loses control. So Jurdies, who got a hat-trick in the game, has to score. Delays and waits to go over the netminder. Brilliant, brilliant calmness. So we're going to sudden death. Ozelins. Oh, denied there by Hirsch. Shea Guthrie can win it. Oh, he comes out well, does Bounds there. So Jason Silverthorne can edge the Stingrays ahead. No, he can't. And now it's going to be Brad Lieb's attempt. Can he be the hero? Yes, he can. And the Blaze take the extra point in a thriller. Stingrays 5, Coventry 6.
Did you just see that penalty shot goal? Gosh, Strax, what a penalty shot that was. Oslins, was it? What a finish he put on Peter Hirsch there.
Well, that's an NHL move. He comes down and he's going one way. That's just great skill and talent.
I'll tell you what, a good game as well. Coventry showed some good spirit coming back there. They're still a little short-handed. Hull got off to a great start. And as a coach, I would imagine Sylvain Cloutier would be a bit disappointed to give that 3-goal advantage up going into the last period.
Yeah, he'd be disappointed. You know, they did all the work early in the game to get that 5-2 lead, and then to have it slip away, and then we have to score that penalty shot and have 2 chances to bury him and not get it done.
They've brought a little bit more skill in Hull, haven't they? And they can score goals this year. You know, they've got Silverthorne and they've got Tendler, who's always scored well for them. But Oslins, they're going to be expecting some. He scored hundreds of goals in the EPL. He's going to make that step up and be a primary scorer in the Elite League now.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff Glover, who played against him last year, and he said he had unbelievable skill. He says he didn't know if he would be able to bring it to this level, and he has. And you saw him. Some great moves. He's got great hands. He stops and starts very well. He's a good player.
He is indeed. Good luck to the Hull Stingrays. More of the Coventry Blaze coming up, and a special little bit of a feature on their new defenceman Mike Shute as well, who certainly impressed me in the opening weeks. Right, let's go across the border. Well, in fact, across the channel. We're going to Belfast, where the Belfast Giants were taking on the Braehead Clan. Hallelujah. After all that time, Jay Galbraith was back in town. Take it away, Chris.
You get the feeling that last season's champions are just beginning to warm up now and get in their stride. Against the Clan, they went ahead in the first period as Robbie Sandrock put away his own rebound at 6:59. Farmer does well on the boards there for the Clan, and then Jade Galbraith sets up Ash Goldie for 1-1. Galbraith, his first game of the season after visa problems held up his arrival. So the Clan were level at the end of the first period, and so to the second period, and Belfast on a power play. Sandrock involved once more, and Champagne, and the rebound there for Colbert, his first of the season. And at 36:06, a power play goal makes it a 2-1 game. But the Giants weren't finished. From defence to attack, Phillips' pass for Stewart, the other assist for Clark. Free-flowing move, and that at 39:55. Just as the period came to a close, it was 3-1. Could Braehead fight back? Well, they tried to do so all period, and they had to wait till late in the period to get a goal. Galbraith on the breakaway, lucky in the end off the skate of Murphy, but that makes it a 1-goal game with 2 minutes and 28 seconds to go. Could the Clan force overtime? Well, no, they couldn't. Belfast having a chance on the empty net, but that's the way it stays, and it's a win in the Odyssey for the Giants. Final score, Belfast 3, Braehead 2.
Just the 2 goals for the Braehead Clan, just the goal and assist for Jade Galbraith 24 hours after getting off the plane. Welcome home, Jade. They're going to be reliant again on Galbraith, aren't they, the Braehead Clan this year? They've got some good supporting casts, but you can't take away your magician in the middle of it all.
No, he's their man. He's the guy they count on in the power play. A big goal, they count on him. Down a goal, they count on him. They count on him for everything. And, you know, he's come back, and it's going to take him a while to get in shape, but you can see what kind of a player he is, his first night goal assist.
Just 2 returning imports for the Belfast Giants, but those other 9 seem to have started off where the last lot left off. They're playing well, scoring goals, defending a lot better now than perhaps they did at the start of the season, and it looks like a very, very tough Belfast Giants team to break down.
Yeah, they have outstanding speed from forwards to the defense. They play a great system. Doug's got them going all the same direction. you know, they're a tough team to break down, and you know, their D jump into the play and create, you know, secondary offense for them, and you know, you Sandrock's just scoring and getting points by the millions.
They're going to the Continental Cup in a couple of weeks' time. That's going to affect their schedule and the amount of games they play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always a struggle when you have to take a weekend off and you know, and then make them up later in the season, and you know, that Continental Cup takes a lot out of teams. 16
goals gone. You do the maths. Plenty more still to come, and we'll have them after this break. So don't you go anywhere. Lots of action around the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League. Welcome back, folks, to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Well, last Saturday there was a little old fixture just down the road from here at the Motorpoint Arena. Just the 7,000 in town to see the Sheffield Steelers take on the Nottingham Panthers. Chris Ellis was one of those.
A crowd of nearly 7,000 people in the Motorpoint Arena for another helping of Sheffield and Nottingham. The Steelers, the form team at the moment, they of course won in Nottingham the previous weekend. And the Panthers here gave a debut to NHL star Anthony Stewart, unable to play for the Carolina Hurricanes at the moment because of the lockout. Now, Steelers have an attack saved by Kowalski, and then Beckett comes forward, left-hand side, to Stewart, who then puts it into the corner where Gallivan goes and chases it. He comes away from the challenge and just holds on to the puck before lightly feeding it to Fox, who scores the first goal of the night. Fox playing on D for the Panthers because of injuries to Nielsen and Weaver. But Gallivan finds space out the corner, and Fox takes his time before firing past De Caro, and those Panthers fans were celebrating. Nottingham had more chances in the second period. Here they are on a power play. There's a chance in front for Lakovic, but John De Caro standing firm. He's had a good start to the Nottingham-Sheffield series. Sheffield outshot Nottingham 14-12 in the second period. It was 33 each, though, over the course of the game in shots on goal. This is a lovely free-flowing move from back to front. Pekka and Tate here with the final assists and the finish from Jeff Legris. That's a great goal from the Steelers, a great team goal, and the 5th goal of the season for Legris has the Sheffield Steelers supporters celebrating. A great goal. Watch this movement. Great pass. Terrific pass. And lovely finish. So the Steelers are level. One more time, Kowalski in the end couldn't get to the puck, and we're level at 1-1. That's the way it stayed going into the third period. Drew Fatter, though, here, forcing a save out of Craig Kowalski. Both netminders were kept pretty busy throughout the course of the game. Nottingham here having a chance as well. Fox from right point, forcing a save out of John De Caro. This was the final weekend that the Steelers used the 3-star way of nominating the best players in the match, the North American way. No surprise the netminders are up there. Star number 2, John De Caro, and first star, Craig Kowalski. At the end of overtime, Ashley Tate and Stevie Lee with some cross-checking. And then Jorgensen and Fox as well. You nearly think they're going to go. Linesmen get in and separate that one and calms things down. Now to the shootout. Francis first for Nottingham. Neat move on John De Caro and scores the first penalty shootout. So Nottingham 1-0 ahead. Looks to go left, pulls it right, and he scores and celebrates with his teammates. Colin Shields for the Sheffield Steelers. No, saved by Kowalski, so we stay at 1-0 Nottingham. Kowalski stands big and stands firm. Now David Ling, what can he do? Comes in on the netminder, fakes to shoot and then pulls the netminder out of position. That's a terrific penalty. No wonder he's smiling. Watch this. Goes to shoot and then just delays it and puts it past De Caro. So it means that Jeff Legris has to score, or it's just 1 point for the Steelers. Legris, he can't do so. Kowalski denies him. So the Steelers only take the 1 point, and Nottingham make amends for last week's defeat to the Steelers. Final score, Sheffield 1, Nottingham 2.
We're seeing some fantastic penalty shot goals, aren't we? Ozelin's a little bit earlier. David Ling there. That was a super finish on De Caro.
Yeah, it's something we didn't have last year. We weren't really comfortable going into penalty shots. This year we got 3 guys who are her money, and we saw 2 of them tonight.
I was 300 foot up watching that penalty shot shootout, and I'm sweating and shaking. What's it like being on the bench in that intense rivalry? 7,000 people there, both teams as desperate as they were to win that one.
Well, it comes down to penalty shots. Both teams gave it their all. It's tied. You pick your best 3 and hope for the best. You don't get nervous or anything. You just go, okay, goalie, make a save. We put you out, you score a goal, and it's a lottery. And then sometimes you win, and sometimes you don't.
Chris mentioned, didn't he, in the highlights there, the 2 goalies, De Caro and Kowalski, both of them outstanding. A couple of the stops Kowalski made there were just mind-blowing.
Yeah, on the night both goalies were on. They saw the puck very well. They challenged. They made some huge saves to keep. Our killer kept us in, and De Caro kept Sheffield in, and it was a goaltending battle.
Yeah. You said to me earlier, before we went on air, actually, that you felt that Steelers-Panthers game hadn't got the intensity of perhaps the one in Nottingham the week before. What was the difference in the game between those 2 matches?
I think in the first game, we probably didn't control our emotions very well, and things got, was on edge, and we went into Sheffield going, we can't take some dumb penalties because you got a good power play, and we kind of played it low key, and so did Sheffield, and it just didn't have that pushing and shoving and that 3 or 4 fights that we're used to seeing.
Okay, more on Sheffield and Nottingham, I'm sure, in plenty of episodes coming up your way here on Sky Sports. Now, the Elite Ice Hockey League's disciplinary panel have been in action. Max Brabea, do you remember Max was actually up in front of Simon Kirkham and his group at the beginning of the year for a hit on Jeremy Domish? Well, that was proved to be a non-hit to the head. However, he's been involved in another one, and Rick and I are going to talk you through this one. It was at the game at the Big Blue Tent last Thursday between the Devils and the Belfast Giants, and Rick, just talk us through this, because this resulted in a 3-game suspension for Big Max.
Well, the new rule say if it's a direct hit to the head, it's a suspension, and right there, his first point of contact was to hit Matheson right in the head, and that is a no-brainer. They have to give him a suspension.
I guess Simon Kirkham, I was going to say, he hadn't got an alternative there, had he? He had to go with that suspension.
No, we have to protect hockey players. They're bigger and they're faster and they're stronger, and you need the equipment. And if you target or you hit a guy, first point of contact is the head area, you're going to get suspended. And right there, Max, his first point of contact was hit him right on the chin. Right.
Well, that meant that the following game for the Cardiff Devils in the Big Blue Tent, the one against the Edinburgh Capitals, saw a Devils side go into that game without Big Max. Let's see how they got on. Chris Ellis.
Cardiff went into last Saturday night's game with the news at lunchtime that Max Beerbrand was suspended after supplementary discipline, a 3-match ban for checking to the head. But no matter for them, they went ahead. Lovely pass from Didi Amiti, the other assist to Marsh, and short-handed at 14:39, Mac Faulkner scoring his 9th goal of the year to continue being the league's leading goal scorer. Into period 2, and patience was the key here around the Edinburgh net. Final touch by Stuart McRae, the captain, a 4th of the year for him, and Edinburgh were 2-0 down in the Cardiff Bay Arena at the midway point. Down the right-hand side there was some action. Camera pans towards the net, but as we come back we're going to see a scrap emerging. McIntyre and Didi Amiti. 28 seconds into period 3. McIntyre not keen to go first, really. Didi Amiti takes off his helmet. McIntyre does start to go with some rights and then is prepared to totally go, and then the jersey comes over the shoulder. Didi Amiti getting some punches in right on the boards. Not much McIntyre can really do about this one, so it's broken up. And now I think a traditional celebration from Didi Amiti goes towards the fans. Celebrate with them. It's still 2-0 at this stage, and we've had a fight. And now coming forward for the visitors is Zembergs. He does all the hard work down the left-hand side, and it's moved around nicely by Edinburgh, and the final touch in front of the net is by Zembergs again. He starts to move, he finishes the move, a 2nd of the year for him, and at 52:15 it's 2-1. So Cardiff need to get back into control of things, and they did less than a minute later. Faulkner from right side, he's happy with that one. Double figures for the season, 53:06. The tide really turning now in Cardiff's favour. There was still time for Faulkner and McKenzie to combine. Strong work behind the net, and who's there but Didi Amiti for his first goal for the club. Happy times for him, and finally again for the Devils. Cardiff 4, Edinburgh 1.
Valuable 2 points then for the Cardiff Devils. You mentioned Max Faulkner's name right at the top of this show, and he's been probably the big find, hasn't he, for the Cardiff Devils? Another 2 goals there, double figures already.
Oh, he skates so well. He's got a great shot. He knows how to get to the net. He knows how to get open, and he doesn't need a lot of room to shoot the puck. And watching him is fun. He can score goals at any level, and he's proven it right now.
Craig Holland has had to go into goal for the Edinburgh Capitals. He wouldn't have expected to play 5 games all season, let alone 5 games in a run, but with their starter being kicked out for that kicking penalty he had. And he's done a good job, hasn't he? He's keeping Edinburgh in games.
Yeah, they're not getting blown out. He's doing his job. He's stopping the puck. He's stopping the first one. They're going to give him a little help, but, the kid, give him credit. He's out there, he's battling every night, giving them a chance to win.
OK, camera one, let's go single shot here. We've got something to say. Didi Amiti, you're an American League tough guy. Yeah, I'm not seeing you fight other American League tough guys. I'm seeing you fight little Scottish kids. I'm seeing you not involved in some games, but I'm reading your tweets. I'm reading all this great PR about you, but I'm not seeing it. What's up with this guy? Because he's come in here, he's talking the talk, but I don't see him walking the walk yet. Do you, Vic?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm seeing him, the big celebration after beating up some. He's a small kid. He's teeny. He wanted. They fought. It's over. Skate to the box. You don't need a big celebration. It's no great victory beating up a kid who he might have been his first fight. Exactly.
Well, Devin Didi Amiti is actually going to be coming here, and he's going to be one of our guests on one of our shows coming up. So we'll ask him that question face to face. Anyway, time for a break now. When we come back, we've got plenty more goals in action from around the Elite League. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. Time for more action now. This time last year, the Hull Stingrays were playing well, but they weren't winning enough games at home. With a new conference system, that was going to give them a great opportunity to win more home games, especially against inter-conference opponents. Well, last Sunday came just the perfect opportunity. The Braehead Clan were in town. Chris Ellis will talk you through it.
There was a right battle at the Hull Arena as Braehead Clan came to town. No goals in the first period, so into period 2. Good work at first from Brock McPherson and Robert Farmer getting there his 4th goal of the season. So that was 1-0 Clan at 31:47. Giveaway by Smith there, pounced onto by Farmer. Not the best of controls it looks like, but he manages to get it past the netminder, and it's 2-0 at 36:05, and seemingly Braehead well in control. Things continue to get better in the second period. In fact, this goal came just 14 seconds later, a scrappy one in front of Ben Bounds, and Bobby Chamon, his 2nd of the year. So that's 3-0. Surely Braehead Clan were home and hosed. Into the third period, and the fight back was started. Jeremy Tendler there with a rebound. 49 seconds gone in period 3, so that was 3-1. And then Ryan Watt doesn't clear the zone. It's pounced on by the home side, and Ryan Hand scores. Watch this celebration, lifts himself up against the boards. We have a 1-goal hockey game in the third period. And before we'd even played 6 minutes, there was absolute delight in the Hull Arena. That was Dooley on the rebound, and we're tied at 3-3, 45-44, and the Hull Stingrays have come back from 3 goals down. It was to get even better. Away from the marker there, Ozelins, and he roots it. And at 47-18, it's 4-3. The visitors needed a response, and they turned to a man playing in only his 2nd game of the year, right in front of the net. Jade Galbraith takes his time, neat move. It's 4-4. We're going to penalty shots. First up is player coach for the Clan, Kristanovic. He scores past Ben Bounds. So what can Ozelins do at the other end? He's denied. Ash Goldie has a chance to get some breathing space for the Clan. He does do so. So Dominic Osman needs to score, or the 2 points are going to the Clan. He doesn't score, he puts it wide. Final score after the shootout. Hull Stingrays 4, Braehead Clan 5.
Valuable point there for the Hull Stingrays, 2 for the Braehead Clan. We're seeing some great goals, aren't we, this week? I mean, that Ozelins finish, what a finish that was.
A great shot, short side shelf. Not too many guys can pull that off, but he knows how to find the net and he knows how to score goals.
Games of several halves, that one, wasn't it? The Braehead clan going, 3 up, and then the Stingrays coming back, and then the clan eventually getting that extra point.
Yeah, I think the Stingrays were, battled back hard, got the lead, and then kind of give up a soft one there. Jade all alone in front of the net, protecting a 1-goal lead. Sylvan won't be happy about that. And then to another penalty shot.
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of those goals. The 3 from the Braehead clan. They got off to a cracking start.
Yeah, right here it's just a big scramble, and I think Bounds really can't see it through his defenseman's feet there, and he just slides it through. And I think the next one here is the puck hops over this guy's stick here, and once again, he thinks he's going to make the move, and it falls off his stick and goes through his legs.
Robert Farmer's been a great pickup for the clan, hasn't he?
Yeah, he works hard. He gives you everything he's got every night. He gets in front of the net right there. Another scramble, and they just throw it hard to the net, and it goes in.
The Braehead clan, everybody said at the start of the year that they were going to walk away with that Gardiner Conference. Again, speaking to you before we went on air, you're a little unsure whether they will do.
No, I think we all thought at the beginning that hey, that's their conference to lose. They should have enough talent there to win that easily. But I think the other teams have done a pretty good job of recruiting, and it's not going to be so easy. I think they're going to have to go out there and win some tough games in Fife, Dundee, and Hull to become those champions.
We mentioned Oslins at the start of the show, and he needed to be that support, if you like, for Tendler and Silverthorne. But they actually look a pretty much balanced and much more all-round squad than they have in previous years. Maybe the whole Stingrays fans have got something to get excited about.
Well, they should. I think the last year they were basically a one-line hockey team. You shut that line down, you won hockey games. Now they got some secondary scoring. They got better defensemen. Their goalie, if he plays well, he'll give him a chance every night. And we know they can score goals. Every night they're scoring 4 or 5. They just got to tighten up in their own end, and you know what? They'll win a lot of hockey games.
These crossover conference games are going to be more and more important as the seasons go on, folks. So when Doug Christensen got on the ferry to go to Kirkcaldy to take on the Five Flyers, he knew these were 2 points he just couldn't let his side slip away. Let's see what happened up at the Fife Ice Arena. Chris Ellis will talk you through it.
A great start to the 2012-13 season for Fife. 5 wins out of 6 going into this one, and a run of form that earned netminder Brian Pitton the Elite League's Player of the Month for September. A new award this season, the Rapid Solicitors Player of the Month. On the ice, Colbert gave the visitors the lead, a second of the season for him at only 1:53. Nothing that Pitton could do about that, and it was a first period lead for the visitors. Giveaway by the Flyers in defence. Nice solo goal from Fournier. Great move on a couple of defensemen there. A second of the year for him. Peacock and Rycroft with the assist at 29:41. It's 2-0, and Belfast Giants were ahead and 2 goals ahead in the Fife Arena. But the Flyers came back into the game in the third period on the power play. Keller, Haynes and Dolan with the assist at 51:10. It's a 2-1 hockey game. Can the Flyers come back into the game and level? There was some action around Stephen Murphy's net, a chance for the Flyers. Then it got a bit feisty. All sorts of players pushing and shoving. No one drops the gloves. The only penalties in the end here were Steve McAlpine and also Davy Phillips, both of them going 2 each for roughing. The linesman getting in the way. You think it's calmed down, but a couple more players just wrestling and just pushing. No one prepared to drop the gloves, though. We don't see any fighting majors. Referee Neil Wilson and the linesman Ali Flockhart and Scott Dalglish don't have to intervene. So 2-1 at this stage, and the next goal was always going to be crucial. And Belfast coming forward. It's a neat move from one end of the ice to the other. Fournier and Lloyd with the assist, and Rycroft's 5th goal of the season does it in the end and is the insurance goal. Five Flyers 1, Belfast Giants 3.
You've got to love your hockey in Kirkcaldy, haven't you? Because it's always a barnstormer of a game. There's always things going on. But Doug Christensen will be delighted that he went into Fife and came out with a 3-1 win.
Well, he would have been worried going into there. The Fife Flyers are playing well. They're confident. They believe in their coach, their system, their goalie's playing well. Doug knew he was going to go in there and it was going to be a tough game, and it was a tough game.
If there's one team that can ride an emotional crowd, ride all the shenanigans going on the outside, it is the Belfast Giants. They are very methodical. They are very disciplined. I'd suggest the most disciplined team in the league. And you just know you're just going to get this metrodome effect with the Giants, don't you? They're just going to keep coming at you and grinding you down, and that's how they win games.
Yeah, they go on the road and they play a very, very simple system, but it's wave after wave after wave. They'll never give you up an odd man rush. They're very disciplined. They don't take many bad penalties. They will just grind you down and you know, come out with, they'll outshoot a team 2-1. You know, they'll score their 2 or 3 goals, but that'll be enough to win. It's
not being rude, but a team has the personality of its coach, maybe, and the Giants certainly have the Christensen approach. Very methodical, very focused, very disciplined. That's what Christensen is as a bloke, and that's what the Belfast Giants are as a team.
Well, all successful coaches are, you know, their team is a reflection of their personalities, and Doug is a very serious, you know, he wants his team to play, you know, a certain way, and they're going to play that certain way.
There was another Scottish derby. As you can see, the Edinburgh Capitals going down 5-3 to the Dundee Stars. That Reinanen, your old player in Nottingham, scoring again. I see he's right up there in the scoring stat trick.
Yeah, Sammy's doing a great job for Dundee. We knew he was a quality hockey player, and you know, he has nice vision and some good hands, and I'm happy for Sammy that he's doing so well.
Yarling got another brace. That kid just can't stop scoring, can he?
Well, yeah, that's unfortunate. He's the only guy that really scores for Edinburgh. You know, he needs some secondary scoring. He needs some help for them to, you know, to be able to win some hockey games.
Yeah. Do you see Dundee being able to challenge Braehead and Hull maybe and fight for the top honours in that Gardiner division?
Well, I think in another month or two we're going to find out who the pretenders are, and I think all of them have the opportunity. It all depends on goaltending and injuries. That, you know, we're going to see 2 or 3 at the top in the next month.
And I guess Edinburgh can't wait just to get their starting goalie back. No disrespect to Holland, but they need their #1 goalie in for them to start converting these close score lines into wins.
Yeah, we won't blame the young kid, but you know, you know, giving up 5 a night you ain't going to win many hockey games. So you know, having their starter come back will give them a chance to win some hockey games.
We've got our Player of the Month. We've also got lots more goals to get through when you come back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League highlight show here on Sky Sports. 2 games in 2 nights for the Sheffield Steelers at the Motorpoint Arena. Could they get over their loss to the Panthers on Saturday? Well, the Coventry Blaze were in town on Sunday. Chris Ellis.
Coventry lost on their last visit to the Motorpoint Arena, but they come there this time in good form. Sheffield were looking to make amends for the previous night's penalty shot defeat to arch-rivals Nottingham Panthers. A free-flowing move with Phillips and Hewitt setting up Tyler Michel for his 6th of the season gave them the lead. 5:52, Steelers 1, Coventry 0. Then a bit of fortune for them. Peter Hirsch caught out of position, miscommunication with James Griffin and some other of his players, and Ashley Tate takes full advantage. 5th of the year for him, not even at the halfway point of the first period. It's 2-0 to the home side, and they're well set. That was the only goals in the first period, but Coventry hit back in period 2. First of all, Greg Leave scoring there, and Bradley with the assist, the other one to debutant Mike Bayrag. So that's 2-1, 1:22 in period 2. That was a good start to period 2 for the visitors. And it got better when Smith set up Jurdies. It was a great move between the two of them, and it was 2-2, 28-19, and the Coventry Blaze, who were outshot 31-18 throughout the game, have come back from 2-0 down. And would you believe it, a lovely move, a step inside from Shoot, a 4th of the year for him. It's 3-2 to the visitors. They've come back from 2-0 down. But Jorgensen and Tate combine as the period comes to a close for Jeff Lequee's 6th of the year. So it's 3-3 going in to the final session, and Sheffield have got back after giving away the lead. Now, it was quite feisty, and you see here, Fatter and Olsen come together. They want more than a chat. Takes its time to get going. Olsen making a bit of the early running. The gloves aren't dropped initially. Sticks are still there. A couple of face washes, but then they go. Then the gloves are dropped. Olsen and Fatter grappling. Olsen starts with some rights. Fatter just trying to get free. Can't get his hand free. Eventually doesn't get some lefts and rights in, but then Olsen comes back the stronger and starts to land a few there. The linesmen decide to jump in, Johnny Liptrot and also Liam Sewell. So they jump in, and that one's over. That's 3-3 then, and a fight But there's going to be a power play for the visitors. Hewitt there, 2+2 for accidental high sticks. So the Coventry Blaze, as Hewitt goes to the box, the Coventry Blaze are going on the power play right at the start of the third period, and they move it around well. Guthrie is the man who sets up shoot for a second of the night and a fifth of the season, and that is a fantastic comeback for the Coventry Blaze. Then look there, an incident involving Corey Pecker. It was a butt-ending major, 5 in game given there by referee Mike Hicks. He's going to take an early shower and an early end to his Steelers career, because 2 days later he was axed by coach Ryan Finnerty. Final score in the Motorpoint Arena: Sheffield 3, Coventry 4.
You'll all be delighted to know I had a great weekend. Sheffield going down to the Coventry Blaze, and we'll just talk about Corey Pecker. You just said watching that then, selfish. I think 4,000 people in the arena went selfish at the end. You can't just do that when you're on the power play 1 goal down, can you?
No, you can't. You know, you have to suck it up for your team, and I can't understand why he would butt end a guy. You're on the power play. You have a chance to tie the game, take it into overtime, and you throw it all away with a selfish butt end. You know, it didn't look like much, but it's a major penalty. You know, that says it all. You know, you can't do that stuff. You want to give yourself a chance to win every night. And we know how important it is for teams to get points in this league.
Yeah. Pecker came with a great reputation, American League. He had a great spell in Switzerland, but he just never clicked for him, did it? He just never worked out.
Well, did you look at him? He was totally out of shape. You know, I was watching the first warm-up, and I said, "Who's this guy? He don't look like a hockey player. He's carrying about 30 extra pounds," and it was Corey Pecker. And you know what? That's not taking this league seriously, because guys here can play and everyone's fit, and he came in totally unfit.
We spoke at the start of the season about all these great players that were coming into the league, the NHLers, the American Leaguers. And I suppose if we looked at the Coventry Blaze, we said Guthrie, we said the Lee brothers. But by God, I want to point out another guy to you, because I've seen him 6 or 7 times, Rick. I think he's phenomenal, and that's this Mike Shute. Let's just take a look at these 2 goals he scored against the Sheffield Steelers. This is sick, isn't it?
Well, this is just a big league, you know, toe drag and then roof it. You know, that's a great play, a great shot, and, you know, for a big man, those are some soft hands.
But he's the 3rd highest scorer in the league. He's the only defenseman in the top 20. Here's another one of his. You shouldn't be scoring from here, mind you, should you?
No, you shouldn't be. The goalie should have stopped that, but, you know, he's got a bomb, and you can tell right now he knows how to shoot the puck.
I think we've got one of the league superstars there. I think we've got a real deal player that the Coventry Blaze have found.
Yeah, so far so good. You know, we know he's got soft hands. Not too many guys can pull that toe drag roof off and get away with it, and he did. So obviously he's got some immense talent.
What about the Coventry Blaze? Your thoughts on them? They're still playing a little short, aren't they? But they brought Bayrak in.
Yeah, that'll help him. Mike Bayrak is a quality hockey player. He's been successful. He puts up big numbers wherever he goes. He's going to help them. Yeah, sure, they're a little short, but, you know, they got some quality imports. The Lee brothers are, you know, great playmakers, can score, shoot. They have what it takes to win hockey games.
Well, 24 hours ago, Rick was behind the bench for the Nottingham Panthers at the NIC. They were taking on the Cardiff Devils. Rick, we got the highlights of that game for us both to talk over here. It was a good victory for your team, 4-2. Let's see the highlights now. So the Panthers in the yellow uniforms, Rick, and you're going off to a good start.
Yeah, a great start right here. Just a beautiful pass by Graham to Ling, and right there, that's why he scored all those goals throughout his career. That's just a great shot, real quick release.
He started off with a bangling, didn't he? Then he went quiet, but he seems to be back in his stride again.
Yeah, you know, I think he's all the games he's been getting scoring chances, but now they're going in right here. This is just a goal-scoring goal.
That's a finish in any league, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's just you know, he doesn't take a big backswing. He's just got a quick release, and the shot's very, very hard.
The Cardiff Devils came back at you, though. Did they work hard? Did you see things there that impressed you?
Yeah, they're a very hard-working team, and right now, you know, here's the guy we don't want to give a breakaway to, Faulkner, and watch this. He finishes.
Yeah, he's been one of the finds.
Yeah, it's just you know, very good. We're on a power play. The power play, you know, did a great job of working the puck around from top to the bottom, and you know, right here, Galley just turns the corner and feeds it to Franny, and he just throws it on net. And you know, I think O'Sear is wishing he held the post a little longer. Is
Francis playing a bigger role for you this year than he did last year? He seems to be adding a lot of key situations. We're going to see Lynn complete his hat-trick here. We'll talk about Francis again in a second.
Yeah.
Another good finish.
Yeah, you know, he gets all that time. He's going to bury every time. But Francis is a great hockey player. Right
we'll
here.
See one here. Kowalski looks like he's got it, doesn't he?
He's got it. He
Twice.
thinks he has it, and it just follow the bouncing puck, and it bounces in, but it ended up 4-2. But no, Matt Francis is a fantastic hockey player. He skates so well. We use him in all key situations. He can kill penalties. He can play in the power play. He's got a great engine. He never gets tired. Last year, I think, he showed that he was a quality hockey player, and that's why he's back in Nottingham this year.
Reports I was getting out of the NIC last night was that was the first time perhaps the Panthers played like everybody expects the Panthers to play. You came at teams, you scored some nice sexy goals, but it was the Nottingham that we all expected. Is it starting to come together here for you now?
Yeah, I think early, we've won some games, but Corey and myself thought we hadn't played to our potential, and last night I thought we took one little step up the ladder to where we think we belong.
Okay, well, you've seen all the goals. Shall we have a quick run-through of all the scores in the Rapid Solicitors Elite Ice Hockey League Highlight Show? We'll start on Saturday, where the Cardiff Devils took the Edinburgh Capitals by 4-1. The Sheffield Steelers went down at home in a shootout to the Nottingham Panthers 2-1. In the Challenge Cup Group A, it was the Belfast Giants 3, the Braehead Clan 2. Coventry 6, the Hull Stingrays 5. What a game that was. In the Gardiner Conference on Sunday, the Hull Stingrays going down 5-4 to the Braehead Clan, the Steelers going down 4-3 to the Coventry Blaze, and the Belfast Giants beating the Five Flyers 3-1. 3 good road wins there. Edinburgh Capitals 5-3 against the Dundee Stars, another road win. But then that game we've just seen the highlights of, the Nottingham Panthers 4, the Cardiff Devils 2. A quick word on that, a lot of road wins. As we say in here, you don't know who's going to win any given night, which is great for the league, but teams winning on the road. Home fans have got to get used to losing.
Yeah, you do. I know what the biggest stat there was. The biggest victory was 2 goals. Yeah. No one blew anybody out. A whole bunch of 1-goal games, and then 2 games where somebody won by 2 goals. So that shows that the league is very balanced at this moment. So
let's put all those results into the computer and see where it comes out. Let's take a look at the league standings. We'll start off with the Challenge Cup as well, Group A. Sees the Five Flyers pretty much guaranteed a quarter-final berth, so are the Belfast Giants and the Dundee Stars. I think we all expect the Braehead Clan to make up the top 4 in that group. In Group B, could be a little bit tighter. Nottingham and Hull lead the way. Sheffield and Coventry have just played the one game, and the Cardiff Devils, is there going to be a surprise there? Can Hull make the top 4? We'll wait and see. The Gardiner Conference sees the Hull Stingrays at the top. As you can tell, they've played 4 games though. Fife, Dundee, Edinburgh and Braehead, while Sheffield lead the way in the Erdard Conference. Again, they've played more games than anybody else, and they lead the way with 11 points. Belfast, Nottingham, Coventry and Cardiff. We jumble all that together. A league that has 5 tables. It's great, isn't it? The Sheffield Steelers at the top of the pile, 11 from 8. Belfast. Then comes Coventry, Nottingham and Cardiff. But as you can tell there, the Erdhart Conference played a lot more league games than those in the Gardiner Conference, and expect those standings to change over in the next week or 2. That's how I see it. I would imagine Braehead and Fife certainly are going to start getting into that 4th and 5th position in the leagues pretty early. Yeah, it's so early to tell right now because, Sheffield's played 8 league games and some teams have played 1. So we got to give it about 2 months for everybody to catch up and play the same amount of games, and then we'll see who's in first and who's in last. Nobody sees more hockey, folks, than Chris Ellis. He just trawls through the videos of every game, and every month he's coming up with his Player of the Month. Here we go this month. And it's the Five Flyers goalie, Rick Pitton, and he's had a great start, hasn't he? Had big shoes to fill. Zemlak left, he comes in, and Brian Pitton has been outstanding. He's been outstanding for him. He leads some categories in statistics, save percentage. He's played very well for him, and he's one of the reasons right now that they're successful. Ever since we started doing these shows, we said about goaltending, your goalie's got to give you a chance to win every night. This lad gives them a chance to win every night in whatever rink he's in. Yeah, he hasn't had a bad game yet. He hasn't given up a lot of goals. So if your goaltender is hot and the players feel confident with him, you can ride a goalie for a long time to a lot of victories. Well done to Brian Pitt, an outstanding effort by a young man, and congratulations. Great start for the Five Flyers, in fact. Right, you've seen all the goals from last week. There's going to be plenty more next week. There's some crackerjack fixtures coming up in the Elite League. We urge you to take them in. We'll start off with the Belfast Giants taking on the Nottingham Panthers. at the Odyssey Arena on Saturday, the 6th of October. Cardiff Devils and the Sheffield Steelers, 7 p.m. at the Big Blue Tent in Cardiff. In the Gardner Conference, a Scottish derby between the Capitals and the Braehead Clan at 6, and another big Gardner Conference game between the Hull Stingrays and the Dundee Stars. That's a 6:30 face-off in Hull. Jump forward 24 hours at the Skydome Arena. The Coventry Blaze take on their big rivals, the Cardiff Devils. Remember, Coventry's face-offs are brought forward now, folks. It's 5:15 on a Sunday night. Hull Stingrays take on the Belfast Giants, the Dundee Stars against the Edinburgh Capitals, and the Sheffield Steelers versus the Braehead Clan. That game will take place at Ice Sheffield. You'll be able to see all the goals on next week's highlight show. 2:30 a.m. on Saturday morning. Don't worry, Strachan, you haven't got to get up too early. It's repeated at 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. Prime time to see the Elite League. Well, a very big thank you to Rick Strachan. Good to see you again, Strax. Good luck the weekend. A big weekend for the Nottingham Panthers. In fact, a big weekend all over the Elite League. You make sure you're taking a game, and we'll see you this time next week. Good night.